Hello guys, in this video we will learn how to use C# in Visual Studio. In this video I will demonstrate a basic way to get started in C# and practice it in the data. For doing this, in Visual Studio you can simply go to C# Interactive and test your code. You didn't need to create any project to test your C# code. For example, if I type this, you see something happen. If I So you can see I create a variable y that is have value 5, and if I type y, this is give me value 5. This means everything that I defining here will be used can be used as same way as I did in C# console application. I can do same thing as C# console application, and I am doing it here to show you that you didn't create to any C# project to test your C# code. For example, I do this, so it will be 11. Okay. So this is the basic thing that you can use here. And if you want to use something from a class or something, you can simply go to simply at R. You can see, I think I am forgetting something. Let's check how to do this on Google. So as you can see, they are doing things like this. So we need to say I same here in my code. So it's okay. So what I'm doing wrong here, that I am using single code when it is C sharp. In C sharp, single quote is used for a single char and double quote is used for a string. I can register my library directly from here. You can see the folder that I am here is all the folder that I have in my documents folder. So I can type, as you know, that .NET framework create a package folder and store all your NuGet package in there. But in .NET Core, all your package stored in your NuGet folder that is stored in your document folder of in your system. So the benefit is that you don't need to add dot package folder in your Git in your file or manually do many things. Actually, I see many people copying their project and giving it to someone else. And mistakenly, if they have 10 projects, this means they need to create delete package every time when for hand over their code to someone. Then in now .NET Core, you didn't need to do anything like that. All your package is stored in NuGet folder in your document drive folder in your system. So I'm registering a DLL from here. As you can see, there is all DLL here. For example, let's try RefSharp. RefSharp is a, as you can see, I have my project have used two versions, 1.6. So I'm going to use this one here, and you can see this is the folder on my system drive. So we are going here, and you see, I so but this thing that is registered that Csharp DLL in my C# interactive window. So now I can type Csharp. You can see Csharp is now showing in IntelliSense. It means that I can use Csharp here. So let's try some code. So, but for those who don't know what is Desktop is, Desktop is a library. For getting more information, you can visit this. This is a HTTP client library for .NET, and you can see that this code in this using this code we are create a client, and this code using this code we create a request. So this will go to http:/resource id, and this is the parameter value. It is actually post request. As you can see, this is the post. So this is a post request, and we can test all our code here in our C# interactive window. So let's try this out. So this is saying base class. So let's I simply go to here and type this. Okay. So I create an object. If you, anytime you have confusion that your object has been created or not, you can simply type here and press enter. So you can see REST client. This is a object we have created, and you can see the object's property in the same line. So I didn't define allow multiple default parameters which same name. So it's have their value false by default. So I am when I create a call a class with a constructor, and then didn't define as well as the same way we code call classes in CS file. We doing same thing here. The difference is we writing code like Python's CLI way. I see some developer writing their code in a CLI without making a single file, making a single project. They can test our code in a CLI. So we doing same thing here in using C# interactive window. So you can see this is the client and this is my object that I just created. So let's try. You can see all things here. Okay. So execute if I need to create a REST request object before executing it. So let's copy paste some. So I am creating this REST request object. So I'm doing this as this preferred. Okay, so you see here you see here that I did have add namespace here, and it's almost when I do the same thing, it's that add the namespace automatically in my C# interactive window. So I type. So let's see if my object has been created. So request object was also created. So let's execute. You can see I just created object false. Let's see what has come in response object. So we got a status code 0. So it's a property called content. Let's return this. I think we did something wrong. Otherwise it should work. I don't think we did it correctly. So I am let's try it this time and create. Okay, so let's try it by creating same object again. What happened? If I type same code, I think I just overwrite it. Okay, no issue. If I do same thing in editor, it will make exception because you can't define the same object with a object with same name again and again. So let's say client. So created with I am not sure what is going on. So let's try some other application. The site. For example, let's try with it to go. Forget the Sharp and we will test it later. C-Sharp interactive window. The demo I am doing here is for C-Sharp interactive window. So we can do every. So you see that just 2 seconds ago I create an object again and again with same name. So it simply override the old object. If I do same in C Sharp, it will not compile because if I define an object with the request, I can't define it again. But I can modify the same object again, but I can't create it again. Let's test it in C Sharp. Okay, so as you can see here, I can't add Csharp here because my project did not have a Csharp. So I simply go to Preference, then I should move the project and Csharp. As you see that these things that it's showing me that is already stored in my system. It's showing Csharp because one of my project has already been used. So if you try think to use a DLL, you can simply install in a create application and use it, and it will you can simply extend it by this way, or you can have the DLL in your system and you can restart them from here. So I simply paste the path to the DLL. So let's add it here. So again we are adding restart. So you can see I have restart. Let's see if it's not blocked in my computer. So okay, so let's try it out. So I define a get request and okay. So for adding a breakpoint, simply go here and press on toggle breakpoint. You can see this is a right thing. That is a breakpoint. So I am executing my code. For execution, you can simply see go to debug and start debugging. There is two kind of debugging. One is start debugging. Start debugging means it will stop wherever you have your put your breakpoint. Secondly, there is a option called start without debugging that will not stop on any of your breakpoint that you put in your code. So start without debugging is simply used for when you, for example, when you showing your code to someone and you didn't want to stop your code on breakpoint that you put for your debugging purpose. And breakpoint is useful for debugging and find out what is going on in my code. So these are the two options for for execute your current application that you're working on. So I am using it here because I want to stop this code on the breakpoint that I just put in my code. So I type start executing. So you can see it's take time, but it's return the result. This is the content that is related to belong to Microsoft.com. Okay, so let's see what happen if I execute the same code there. So as you know, this is done by line, but it will take all my input if I put code with my multi-line code. So I am pasting my code here. As you can see, this is now new line. This I don't know what is it. It means that after this code, this line will be executed, and later on this line will be executed. So I am tapping enter, and it's taking time because it's get sending a request, taking the response, and storing there. It's a synchronous process. Means it will if you type a code that will take few seconds, it will not show you a result. It will not come back to the new line since it until it's stored execute fully. So let's see, it's working. So this is how we can use C Sharp interactive window. Okay, so let's try out the same thing again, and that I'm talking about few seconds later. So this is saying okay, for watching checking error, there is a window that's called error list. So can see here it's saying a local variable or function name request is already defined in this scope. Means I can't define this object again. So when I remove that thing, I am changing this object white. So okay, but you can do that thing in C Sharp Interactive because C Sharp Interactive does not check that that object is already exit or not. It simply override that object. So if I executed this thing again and again, it means simply means I am modif I am simply creating an object, and this object does not mean anything here because this is over this is defined again here. Okay, so this is the very basic video that in this very basic video about C Sharp. So let's see what are the other window that is available in the studio. As you can see, there is toggle bookmark feature. It simply helps us to create a bookmark, and you can find it here in the bookmark window. I think there is a window called bookmark window. You can see here. So if you have a very big project, you can create a bookmark, and it will be here. It's simply stored in solutions. I am not sure where you so, so this is all the thing that I have never. So let's see other thing. Okay, so now we will learn how to debug our code. For debugging, I am adding a breakpoint. So here is double breakpoint, and for debugging, use starting. You can see this is a debugger location. When you execute your code, it's create a process. This is your process that console demo.exe 10328. This is the process ID. This is the thread, information about thread. This is a step frame. You can learn more about by searching it on Google. So I am adding it here and so here So okay, this is the outer window. As you can see, this is the outer window and this is local. All variables that you defined here will be showing here. For example, in this scope, there is a variable called request. You can see here, this is not has been executed yet. So this is in request. This is null currently, and this is content. It's also not executed yet. So this is also null. For if okay, so this is okay. So this is the window. Okay, yeah, this is step over acting. So let's see what happened. Okay, so you see red thing here. This simply means that this object has been modified. If you debugging something and you want to know which thing has been modified, it's simply described that this object has been modified. So as you can see, there is nothing in movement. The same value can be seen here. And you can see watch. For example, I have something and its property. I can simply write it here. Right? So I can simply check my value here, and again if I set it here and to go to, so you can see that this object has also changed. So that object that is has changed slightly will be right here. Okay, so this is the call stack. If I define 5 method here, it will be show my chain here. For example, I will show you in next 2 seconds. This is breakpoint, two breakpoint has been put it here, put it here. First on 13 and second on unity. So this is immediate window. If I need to set something immediately, I will set it here. So you say I just set null and it has changed. This is output window. Output window simply show things that has logged on my program. So we are talking about holistic. So I am going to show you how this thing work. For example, I am creating a method. As you can see in my main method, there is a function called test. Test call test2. Test2 call test3. Test3 is here different. So you can see my code how my code will be executed in this workflow. First, main method call will call test. In test, when it come to test, it say there is a function test2, and when it's come to test2, it will check that test3 should be called. So let's execute it by put a breakpoint here. So I am putting a breakpoint toggle window breakpoint, and I'll just move my breakpoint from here. So let's execute it again. As you know, when we add a breakpoint, it add nothing to the system file. That's why it's not showing you something that file has been modified, because it's stored in either SLN file or CS file. I'm not sure about that thing, but it doesn't modify anything on your C# file. So let's starting debug again. So you can see, okay. So what happened here is, first it's called main method called test line 20. So you can see it's showing you line 14, means that function is on line 14. This is where my test function has been called. And you can see line test called test2 or 25. This means this method called test20 test2 on line 20, and this called test3 on line 25. And the line test3 has been defined on line 29. So this is my code which is currently running. So this is how things work in C Sharp. You can use these features to test your code. If you have any doubt, you can comment it below in comment section or message me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube. Thanks for watching my video. Bye.